What's up, y'all? I hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving because now that we're in December, let's talk about the holidays people actually care about, like Christmas. It's that time of the year where we get to make our Christmas wish list. That's why for this video, I have 5 things that I put on my UFC Christmas wish list. So without wasting any more time, let's jump right into it. Starting off with what needs to happen for the sake of my mental health at UFC 310. I need Aljamain Sterling to defeat Movsar Evloev. For those of you who follow my Instagram, I believe I made it abundantly clear that I despise Movsar Evloev. He's a pedophile who likes to fight like a pussy. There's an interview that I cannot play because that will have this video taken down most definitely. So I will link that interview in the description below. Basically, Evloev is interviewed by another well-known pedo, Sneeko. These two really bonded together talking about marrying women once they reach physical maturity. Second, this guy completely pussied out of his fight with Arnold Allen earlier this January. I've shown this clip multiple times on both my Instagram and other videos on this channel, but basically, I witnessed this pussy post his arm onto the canvas in order to draw out technical fouls because posting on your hand onto the canvas immunizes you from knees to the face, at least before the rule changes. I don't necessarily have a problem with him posting his arm itself. What I have a problem with is we see Arnold Allen lift Movsar up every time he throws a knee to counteract this rule. Rather than trying to block or stop the knee, Movsar tanks the full brunt of the knee by putting his hand back on the canvas, waiting for Mark Goddard to step in. I don't understand why certain fans call this a strategy because Evloev's eating the full brunt of the knee regardless. The only reason he didn't get finished is because Mark Goddard stepped in to save him from a disadvantageous position. And listen, Aljamain Sterling isn't exactly my favorite fighter, but please, Aljo. I cannot watch this crotch-sniffing decision merchant who primarily relies on the refs to win his fights against elite competition. And I cannot watch my comment section be flooded with this stupid-ass fanbase trying to justify posting your hand onto the canvas to draw technical fouls instead of using any skills to try and stop your opponent's attack. Fuck this guy. Fuck his fan base. Please, Aljo, destroy Evloev this Saturday. Alright, this next one I think most of you watching can kind of relate to. I need Rachmanov to beat Ian Gary this Saturday. Honestly, it isn't because I hate Ian Gary that much. Is he and his wife annoying sometimes? Yes. But you can't deny that he's actually really good. And the fact that he's asking for Shavkat Rakhmonov on short notice takes some balls. Like, whether you want to admit it or not, Ian Gary is a great fighter. That being said, I need Rakhmonov to win this fight because I am a Rakhmonov glazer. I think the only person who can beat Shavkat in the division is JDM as of right now. Not that everyone else is bad, but if Rakhmonov is the one with the belt, I think he would be the most dominant. 18-0, 18 finishes, 3 of them within the rankings. I don't care if Wonderboy Thompson is his best win. He's the first guy to submit Wonderboy Thompson. Like Wonderboy gets taken down, but he's never been submitted in the UFC. On top of that, he did it off a broken foot. I watched Bilal, with no reported injuries, lay in Wonderboy's half guard for 3 whole rounds. I watched Gilbert Burns do something very similar. You put these performances side by side, and you tell me who would you rather see hold the belt. If Ian Gary wins, I would be impressed. And I don't think it's necessarily impossible for him to win, but part of me would be disappointed that Gary won. My main issue with Ian Gary is that he tries to be loved by everyone while being a condescending prick. For example, when Gary and Neil Magny were supposed to fight, Magny made a joke about disciplining the new young prospect by handing him an ass whooping, like how he would with his kids. Gary kind of ruined all of that by questioning if Magny beats his kids or not for like a month straight. And even before Magny made those remarks, Gary is just a condescending prick. Him doing all of that while simultaneously trying to maintain a nice family man persona is just cringe. At least go full heel if you want to behave like a full-on cunt. But I really rate Gary highly as a fighter regardless. He fights whoever the UFC asks him to fight, whenever and wherever. On top of that, his technique is really crisp. But I just prefer watching Rachmanov fight, and Rachmanov hasn't done anything annoying, to say the least. That's why I really want Rachmanov to win this Saturday at UFC 310. All right, this next one, we're going to the UFC 310 prelims. Please, Dominic Reyes, put away Anthony Smith, if not comfortably beat him by unanimous decision. I can't watch Reyes lose to Anthony Smith of all people after he saved his career earlier at UFC Louisville against a dangerous prospect in Dustin Jacoby. Like, I am a huge Reyes fan. I want to see him get it to the title soon, and if he loses to Anthony Smith, I think that's just sad. But more importantly, at this point, I don't understand why Anthony Smith is still even within the rankings. Maybe light heavyweights are just that awful, but Smith is still within the rankings somehow. The guy is calling Roman Dolidze a stylistic nightmare and a good striker. If you are calling Roman Dolidze a good striker, it's not because he's a stylistic nightmare. You're just dog shit at striking. Everyone watching this video will know for a fact that if Smith manages to fluke this win, then he's gonna talk himself up like he's gonna be contending for the light heavyweight title anytime soon. Despite being an objective analyst, he's got onion skin when someone criticizes him. Bro is criticizing everyone harshly and claims it's the truth, but the second anyone does that to him back, he's out here crying on Michael Bisping's podcast. It is 2024, and the fact that Anthony Smith is still within the rankings of light heavyweight is truly astounding. Hopefully, we get to see him out the rankings soon because I am tired of watching people gas up Smith like he's this elite level fighter after fluking a win against decent level competition, just to go out there and shit the bed in his next fight. We've seen this movie 7 times already. I think by 2025, the UFC should be moving on from Anthony Smith. My fourth wish will have to wait for UFC Tampa because I wish Buckley defeats Colby Covington at UFC Tampa. And yes, this is coming from someone who liked Covington at first. Did he talk an egregious amount of shit? Yes. But he was very fun to watch until he fought Leon Edwards. Watching Covington fight Leon Edwards was borderline watching Dylan Dennis fake a fight with Logan Paul. Like, Covington didn't do anything after talking all that shit about the dead father of Leon Edwards. Like, if you're gonna talk all of that shit, please go out there and look impressive. He just cowered away for 4 rounds. The only reason I want Covington to win is if he fights Ian Gary next, but I don't think that's gonna happen at this point. Other than that, I don't know why the UFC is putting Covington this high up within the rankings. I need to see some guys in the top 15 move up these rankings because right now there are a lot more entertaining and more dangerous fighters to watch than Covington. So yeah, I hope Buckley wins, and if he does, we will finally get to see some fights happen in the welterweight division. My fifth and final wish is something that will have to wait till next year because I wish that the UFC holds more crowded fight night main events in 2025. We got one every 2 months in 2024, I believe. I think I speak for a lot of people. The Apex is absolute dog shit. Not solely because of the fights, but the atmosphere, the lack of applause from the fans. It just feels wrong for some of these fighters to fight in front of such a small crowd that does not give a shit about the sport. The UFC is renovating the Apex until the summer of 2025. Even if that means we have to wait once every 2 weeks for a fight card more often, I will take that over putting on a lackluster card that gets glossed over because it's in the Apex. Hopefully, the Apex will be better after the renovations, or maybe they'll put in an actual crowd there because it was cool to hear the sounds from the Apex when barely anyone was there. But it's just annoying now that the Apex is turned into this rich kids club. I hope they move out the Apex, and if they are still going to use the Apex, just not as often, please. Yeah, that'll be it for today. Make sure you like and subscribe. I really hope all of these 5 wishes come true. Let me know in the comments below what you wish to happen before the end of 2024. I will see you guys after UFC 310 to recap every pay-per-view card this year. Peace.